All right, so let's talk about why I sold my franchise. I feel like some people's reactions are, what? What's going on? This guy on YouTube who is a franchise coach who helps people buy franchises and get them profitable sold all of his? Something must be up. Well, yes and no, and I'm going to reveal it all to you in this video. So before we jump into why I sold, it's important for you to know the backstory of why and how I bought franchises. Then I'll reveal why I sold my franchises and what I'm planning to buy next. All right, so here's the backstory. I signed my franchise agreement in December 2015 after deciding that I wanted to transition out of my six-figure corporate job. I had tried to start various types of non-franchise businesses, clothing line, ebook, publishing, landscaping business, and a few internet marketing businesses as well. So in 2017, we opened our first location in California, almost 2 years after signing our first franchise agreement. Why? Well, the shopping center that we had signed a lease in was a dirt lot when we signed our lease, so we had to wait for the entire shopping center to be built out. It was a crazy experience. So by the time we were almost done with construction, nearly 2 years later, my wife and I had already decided that we wanted to move out of California back to the East Coast to being closer to our families. So only 6 months after opening our first franchise that we invested over $300,000 to, we moved 2,500 miles away across the country. Now the cool thing was I was able to use what I teach now to my clients in my profitable franchise formula and get our franchise profitable in less than 60 days, which is not common in the franchise space. So, by the way, if you want to do the same thing, you can go get my free 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. Over 2,500 people have downloaded it, and the link is in the description below. So we wind up moving to Florida in 2018. And when we moved to Florida, it just so happened that there was a resale location with the same franchise that was for sale. Turned out that location was struggling, and so we were able to get it for a really good deal. And I felt confident based on our first franchise location that I would be able to get it turned around. All right, so now remember, the entire goal was to free myself from corporate America. I invested in a franchise because I just didn't see the path of me creating a startup business on my own. And I felt like I'm good at following systems. So if I buy a franchise and follow the system, I have a way better shot at achieving my goal of leaving corporate America and replacing my income. Well, turns out I was right. So we buy the resale franchise in Florida. Keep in mind, I still have the other store across the country. It's in a different time zone. It's a 5-hour plane ride away. And the entire time I was relying on my store manager to run that store. Back to the Florida store. Within 18 months, I had increased sales by 40% and got the location profitable. But about 12 months in, my wife and I decided to move again, this time to Orlando, which was 3 hours away from the store that we had bought in Florida. Keep in mind, guys, this was never the plan. The plan was never to own a franchise 2,500 miles away, then another one 3 hours away. So to make a long story longer, that's why I sold. The California store, one, was so far. And I made a different video on why I sold that location. You can go check that video out. There's a thumbnail there. But the Florida store was 3 hours away, and with COVID and labor issues, and then my longstanding manager who was there, who ran everything, wind up leaving, I was stuck going to the store a lot. And that was really inconvenient because that meant time away from my family, lots of nights in Airbnbs, and then that translated to extra expenses for the business. And I was taking time away from my new business. Well, what's my new business? Well, in January of 2021, after I had so many people reaching out for help that found me on YouTube, I started a coaching business. Basically to help people who were in the same boat as me. Frustrated, unfulfilled employees who wanted to create more freedom, flexibility, and really a higher income through owning their own business. So that business started taking off big time. And it's kind of ironic because I started a franchise because I was never able to get a business off the ground. And I felt like I needed a system, a structure that was proven. And as I owned my own franchise business over the years, I realized the reason all my other businesses had failed was because of me. And some of you might go, well, duh, Tariq. But hold on a second. I had a habit of starting businesses, being inconsistent, not following through, getting overwhelmed and stuck, and then basically giving up or jumping to the next shiny object. Well, a theory I had early on was that with a franchise, I couldn't do that. I was committed. I was locked in. I made a $300,000 investment. Well, my theory on this worked because when I was confused in my franchise business, I had to figure it out. I had 25 employees at one point. I had a franchisor waiting on me to figure out how to get through the permitting process and handle some of the obstacles to get the store open. We had weekly calls. I had to show up to those calls with progress, with an answer. So in the past, whereas if I was just doing it on my own and I had no support system, no accountability, no one with expectations out of me, I could just give up. It was easy. But like at this point, like we're already $100,000 in, $150,000 in, $200,000 in. I got general contractors waiting on me. I got permits waiting on me, the franchisor. That created the pressure that I needed to finally break through. So really, this had to work. Failure wasn't an option. Now here's the thing, you'll learn that if you put your back against the wall, most of the time, you'll figure out a way to succeed. So now you're asking, Tariq, where is this all going? Basically, I sold my second location because it was 3 hours away. There was zero enjoyment or satisfaction of running that business anymore, and my online business was taking off. And now that my franchise was 3 hours away, it was getting in the way. So I sold it. Another benefit was I got to cash out. And the reality is that with what I knew about franchises 5 years ago when I started, it was so much less. With what I know now, holy moly. So here's the $1 million question. Am I going to open another franchise? Yes, I am. So make sure you're subscribed below so you don't miss out when I announce it. But basically, because I didn't have the profitable franchise formula back then that I teach my clients now, I had to figure it out the hard way. I made a lot of mistakes, and honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I started this channel, so that you can learn from my mistakes. And so for right now in 2022, now that I have a bunch of clients that I've helped buy profitable franchises and successfully transition from their corporate jobs, I'm gonna scale this business because it's pretty much just been me. So now I'm going to create a team so that I can better help more of you. And because a lot of you guys reach out for help. And so once I have my team in place, and when I'm not recording videos at 6 a.m. like I am this video, I'm going to sign a franchise agreement for my next franchise. For now, I'm just really grateful and super excited about what I've learned about business and how I've grown as an entrepreneur through owning franchises. I've learned how to start, grow, and sell businesses. And ultimately, if you think back at my original mission, I accomplished what my number one goal was, which was to replace my income and become a full-time entrepreneur. So I'm recording this video at 6 a.m. right now because we're about to go drive to the beach for a week, and we're gonna go spend time with family for Christmas. And the great thing is I can work if I want to or not work if I want to. I don't have a boss calling or checking in on me, and I get to do work that I deeply love. I mean, I just had a client that she was traveling, and because there's a major project going on, her boss wanted like her entire travel itinerary of when she was landing and all these different things, basically to micromanage her, not with good intentions. So I'm super excited about what is next in this journey, and I just wanted to be transparent with you guys and let you guys know that I did sell my franchise, that I do plan on buying another franchise, and I'm excited to help you along the journey. So if you're someone who has similar goals, meaning that you want to own a profitable franchise business so that you can free yourself and have that flexibility and finally make 2022 the year that you make your dreams come true from that perspective, then reach out. Go into the description below and you can apply for our coaching program, and either myself or someone on my team will reach out to you. Anyways, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.